Hey everybody, welcome to Go Live with Glow. Tonight we have a very special guest. We have Jasmine coming on. She's also a Morgan State alumni. Go Bears once again. I'm trying to get everybody that was an alumni of Morgan State on the show before season 2 ends. Um, this week is almost over. April was a long month. I'm not sure. It came in real fast, but it's leaving really slow. My allergies are killing me. I wake up every morning and my eyes are like shut, like closed shut, and they're like blood red. And everybody's working from home, so I'm on Zoom looking crazy. So yeah, that's the update for the week. The pollen is out. It's not summer yet, but we are getting some warmer days. I'm ready to kind of get outside. Like I already said, it's going to be a very wax summer. I can't wait to hang out with my homegirls again. Do COVID-friendly things, go out to public places and social distance because I really don't want anybody in my face like that, period. I mean, after the year we went to, do you really want people that close to you? Like 6 feet is the required distance between you and somebody else in order for you not to spread their germs. So that kind of helps you put everything into perspective. But yeah, that's just my little bit of a rant. But waiting for our guests to arrive. In the meantime, in between time, how's everybody else doing? How's everybody else's day while the room gets warmed up? It's so hot in this apartment, y'all. And I just want to say thank you to everybody for just rocking out with me. Again, Go Live Glow with his birthday is coming up. So I can't wait to celebrate with you guys on May 20th. Our guest has joined the building, so we are waiting for it to connect. Hey girl!
Hey girl, hey.
How are you? So I was giving everybody like a little bit of a soft intro. I was like, we have Jasmine coming on tonight. She is definitely a Morgan alumni. So that kind of like kills the first question because I already answered it. But you can introduce yourself again so that everybody else can know who you are.
Okay, hi everybody. I'm Jasmine. Jasmine Evadney on Instagram. Evadney's my middle name. But I am a Morgan alum, yes. A Hopkins grad student currently right now. And
Congratulations.
thank you. Girl, I'm just ready to throw in the towel, but but
Is this your last year you're coming up on or you are
yeah.
like
Yeah, I took a long
wow.
break because of coronavirus.
Okay.
So but yeah, so and I'm also a photographer. I work in community development and youth development, but I'm also a photographer. So
So where are you originally from?
I am originally from upstate New York, born and raised Rochester, New York. My dad's just a more like where I'm from. I'm half Jamaican, half African American. My mom's born in the UK, but she's Jamaican. My dad is from Rochester.
And so how did your parents meet each other? You say your mother was born in the UK.
Yes. Well, she came to the States when she was 13, and my grandparents moved to Rochester. So that's how they met.
Oh, okay, okay. I'm like, how did your parents meet if your father's from Rochester and your mom was from the UK? And
I know.
so you went to school at Morgan. So what were your other options? I always ask everybody, like, what was their other options besides going to Morgan State?
Well, I was looking at black colleges for sure. I had went on a black college tour my junior year or sophomore year, but I was looking at Howard. I was looking at, I think I was looking at Norfolk at the time. Um, I would say my number one choice though was Morgan.
We had a better campus. I will say
Yeah.
that. If we had a better campus, honestly, it was between Morgan and Kentucky State for me.
What was in
I
Kentucky State that was telling you to go down there?
I don't know. I don't know. I went on a black college tour too. So we did Clark, we did Morgan, we did Virginia State, Virginia Union, and we did Norfolk State. I didn't really like Norfolk State because I used to live in Virginia Beach. So I kind of didn't want to go back to Virginia. That was my thing. The Commonwealth states. I don't really like to be in Commonwealth states. PA,
Ah,
BA.
I
You know,
didn't. I wasn't even aware of that at the time,
mm-mm.
but
I always knew that. Like if you ever got like they
they make their own laws, so you can go to jail for pretty much anything out there. Not to say that I was a bad person, but that always kind of stuck in the back of my
Yeah,
mind. So
yeah.
I stayed away from Commonwealth states. So VA and PA was basically out for
Out
me.
of
And then it
question.
was like Kentucky. I don't know. I like their campus. Like it just seemed right. I don't know what kind of person would I have been had I lived in Kentucky, but it felt right. Like you're supposed to be here. But then like my cousin went to Morgan, and I was like, I'm only 3 hours away from New York. I didn't think it would be a big difference. I thought like, okay, Baltimore is like 3 hours away. It shouldn't be that country. And I got to Baltimore. I said, what the heck? Where the hell am I at?
This
What
ain't
the hell
country
is
at all. I mean, outside of the accent, it ain't country at all.
it's not like Hulu. I'm not even gonna say it no more because it's like a running joke going on. Like they how you pronounce certain different words out
Yeah,
there is crazy. So where are
yeah.
you currently located at now?
I work in DC. I live in Hyattsville.
And what made you go back? Because I know you were like walk us to the through the journey, like what after happened at Morton. Because I know you were here in New York, and then
Yes, yes. So once I left Morgan, I was itching to get out of Baltimore. Just for like, wanting to like spread my wings. Like I was like, so I went to New York. I actually have a lot of family there. A lot of my mother's side of the family lives there. Um, and I started working at Hot 97. I was working in radio for 4 years and really felt called in a different direction. Transitioned to youth development, which was always home for me because I grew up in youth development programs, all the summer camps, all the after schools, all the clubs. So went to work at Harlem Children's Zone, and I was in
I didn't know
Harlem.
you worked there. I didn't know you worked there.
Yes,
I don't
yes,
think I
that's
knew you worked there.
yeah, that was one of my favorite jobs still. But then yeah, after that I transitioned back down to Baltimore. Just again wanted to change the scenery, wanted a better cost of living, more bang for my buck. So went back down to Baltimore and then transitioned to the DC area in 2019 with the organization I'm with now, which is called Living Classrooms.
You know, I remember you telling me that you were moving back, and I was like, why? Like, I don't know why I always get like sad when people come and go back to the DMV area. I don't know. I guess just all the politics and all the things that happen out there. But I mean, everything is happening pretty much everywhere. So you said you were getting called into a different direction. Like, what was it like working in radio? Because, you know, in New York City, when you live in New York and go to high school in the city, like everybody wants to work for radio, everybody wants to work in the entertainment industry. And so like people like live, breathe,
Breathe
eat.
it.
Yeah,
Yes.
you know what I mean? That's the thing. So like what was your experience like working for Hot 97?
Well, it first of all, I met so many cool, amazing people, like, and not like celebrities, like the people who I was working with, really just amazing people. So many opportunities to just spread my wings, and obviously,
I think her thing is buffering. You know, this Instagram live thing, listen, I'm gonna get it together. I'm gonna figure out how to do this. Watch you guys. I'm going to figure out how to do this and get it effective. I don't know what's going on here. I think I think it's hers. I don't know if she has to come out or go back in. Let me see. Let me send her a request. I don't know what was going on with
girl,
it.
I'm
It was
so sorry.
no, it be trip. IG is tripping. Like my homegirl just said, IG be tripping. So you were just telling like the people that you met at Hot 97, the people that you
Yeah,
had met.
yeah, I think it was just an amazing opportunity, like that glimpse into the industry and just chances to blog, chances to produce, come up with new content ideas. It was fun. It was really fun. But me being called in a different direction was more centered around. I really did like radio and media, but the messaging that I was kind of a part of putting into the universe did not really align with who I was as a person.
As
So,
far
and
as
that,
what?
as far as like Like there was one time that I almost wish I didn't say the name of the radio station so it wouldn't be like me talking crap about them.
I don't think nobody from Hot 97 is even watching this page, to be honest. I think this is a safe space,
Okay.
honestly.
So yeah, so one time there was like a competition that they did that was called an ass off. And it was between, now mind you, I manage all social media and web content. So
Right.
for Hot 97. So like I was asked to promote this contest between Kim Kardashian and Amber Rose, like who had the best ass. And I'm just like, I can't even put on that voice. That's not me. And then also, like, I'm looking at the demographic. I'm like, this is like majority black music, right? Like by black artists. But here we are asking questions about who got the better ass from two women who ain't
Two
even
white
black.
women.
Yes.
Two white women. It didn't go together.
So I'm like, y'all really y'all listen, this is not aligned with my spirit at all. Like,
Oh
so
man. And I wonder, was that before Kim got with Kanye?
no, I don't think so. It was while she was with him. Girl, don't give me the line.
Oh, it might have been before. It
I
might have been
think
when Amber was with Kanye.
I think the competition was like the fact that they were both had dated the same man. So I think
Maybe it
you know
was
what I mean?
after. Maybe
Yeah.
it was after. Okay. Oh wow. And so I guess like after 4 years, you was like, all right, I'm pretty much done with this.
Yeah. My spirit was like, this ain't it. This ain't it. And then someone called
Mm-mm.
me like a name when I was working there. Yeah, there was a guy in the sales department who was like, who walked in our department looking for me. He was like, "Where's that social media hoe?" And I was like, "Who the?" Like, I'm serious.
You know, we all have this image in our mind of what some of these industries look like, you know, and when you get there, I guess they don't really pan out as far as expectations go. And it's really like a bunch of people just trying to get to the top, a lot of disrespect. I watched, I don't know if you got an opportunity to watch On the Record. Did you ever see
No.
that?
Is that on
Um,
Netflix?
no, it's on HBO Max. It's a
Okay.
documentary centered around. I'm gonna give you the information, but I thought it was really interesting to watch this. I mean, it's about Russell Simmons, you know, our beloved Russell Simmons. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like beloved Russell Simmons, but it's centered around like this industry of women that are in media, that are in entertainment, that have all these like horrible stories to talk about this industry where they work that were men. And so the fact that you said that this man just walked around and was like, "Oh yeah, where's that, you know, girl, that social media hoe?" You know what I mean?
Girl.
Like that's common in that industry because it's just looked at like, it's whatever. You know what I mean? And I guess this is
Well,
right
also
before
the music was
that
telling him
too.
that he could call me that. You know what I mean? So it was
Right.
like I was really. That's one of those moments that made me just know for sure, like, okay, like it's time.
I
So
think there was somebody else, and I'm not gonna put them out there like that, but they had did an internship. They went to Morgan with us. They did an internship, and they were working for like I think I'm not gonna say the name where they work for. They working for somewhere, and they were
mhm.
like, you know, this is all like a different experience for me. Like, you know, I come across all kinds of things. You know, down to people even doing drugs in the bathroom, and you know, people really break their necks to get into these industries, and it's still like a hierarchy of how things are even like, you know what I mean, flowing. Like you could
Yeah.
be in the industry and still be at the bottom of the industry or the bottom of the totem pole at the industry. I just remember 2010 all the way up to 2012 being like an industry event type of situation. Everybody was like running to these industry events, sneaker releases, headphone releases,
Yeah.
liquor launches. Like, I mean, anywhere
It
that
was
people
fun
were
though,
gonna
wasn't
be
it?
at.
It was fun though, right?
It was interesting to say the least to be trying to get to these events. I remember Moet did Presents Future before Future was like this toxic man that's all over the place. They were doing like this big release for him and like everybody dressed up in all black to get to this industry event. But like, I don't know, like it was a time. It definitely was a time. So it's just crazy that you said that. It reminded me of that documentary called On the Record. Like all these women in the entertainment industry are talking about like all their experiences that they experienced, you know, working for these
No,
powerful
I gotta
men or
write that
working with
down.
men, period. Yes, it's called On the Record. It's a big thing. It's a big thing. It's like really like it's cringeworthy to say the least, just because I I would never, I don't know what happened, but I know how some people say things so casually or do things so casually because no one has ever told you that that's not okay.
Hmm.
So I'm
Yeah.
quite sure that that person that called you like a social media hoe probably called and joked with other women in that department and they
Oh
laughed it
yeah.
off and was like, well, you a hoe too. And it just kind of just kept going. If we don't correct bad behavior,
Oh
we
no,
kind of perpetuate it.
fried him. I fried him. I had to because I was just
I
like,
can't even imagine.
not me, not no, sir. Mm-mm.
So you said that you're in grad school. I didn't even know you were going to grad school. I mean, I don't know your personal business. I know what you do on the surface. So you're working with. So where do you work at now, and what's the name of the company that you're working with now?
So I'm with an organization called Living Classrooms. It's a nonprofit.
Okay,
So yeah, we do youth development and workforce development programs.
and
Yeah.
then you're going to school,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
and then you do photography as
Yes.
well. So you're
Mm-hmm.
doing all these things, and so how has COVID changed, like, your shifted your perspective? Like, has it made things easier for you to do, harder to do? Like what's going on? Like, what is going on as far as like your perspective, as far as like when COVID hit, multiple jobs that you have wear multiple hats, Jasmine.
Yeah. So I think when COVID hit, I really just initially I kind of stopped everything. While I was obviously kept working my full-time job. Um, but I definitely paused and sat still and stopped taking clients for quite some time. And I think I started back up in the summertime. Um, but in that time frame, I kind of got more reflective just about what I really wanted to say with my images. And I think I had been in the mindset of like, okay, a gig photographer. But I really am more concerned now about like really being expressive and personal projects and what type of story I want to tell. And like, I've been really interested in Black womanhood, Black female identity, um, and what that means to me, and also Black children naturally because I work so closely with children. So that's been a focal point for me that I found probably mainly during COVID, just being more reflective. So
And so what made you want to pick up the camera though? Like,
I have always loved taking pictures. I tell people like I was the type to get the disposable cameras and be taking pictures. I like was taking selfies before there was even a word for it. I was turning that joker around on me and just getting my pictures developed
from
and
the
like
other
seeing what I
lens,
look
from
like. Yeah.
the other lens, puts
Yep.
it that way. So
Yep.
what photographer work influenced you the most though?
Um, I would say if I had to pick one, I would definitely say Gordon Parks, which is probably everybody's, you know, favorite. But just because he really, his pictures tell so many stories, like just Black life during that time period. He really just did a good job at capturing that. And I'm one of those people that believes it's different when you are photographing you, like when you come from that community and you're the one taking the pictures of that community, right? Like I feel like I'm going to photograph a Black woman in a certain way, whereas a white male or even a Black male might not capture her in the same way, right? So I feel like Gordon really captured Black life, and told our stories for us during that time period. But people who have influenced me, really, not just photographers, authors, Toni Morrison. Like,
Okay.
yes, like the way she writes, she packs so much potency into every single line, every single paragraph. And to be able to do that with words, like it would be like one of my goals to be able to do that with images. Like,
Mm.
you know what I mean?
So I don't know if you caught it. I should have sent you the episode. So there's another guy we went to school with. His name is Kamal. He
Yes.
traveled. Are you did you know he made a book
Yes, I just
of
commented on his
pictures
stuff like 5 minutes ago. Well, 20
Yes,
years ago.
he just made a book and he traveled around the world and he also has some images of Burning Man Festival. When I say I cannot wait to go to Burning Man Festival, I cannot wait. I hope
Now,
this
where is
world
that?
makes a shit. It's in the desert near like Nevada somewhere. So I have to get the correct address. So I know that I've seen like pictures of Burning Man Festival, then like I kind of like researched because I wanted to know exactly what's that. But it's like in the middle of nowhere, really,
Yeah.
like in the middle of the desert, nowhere. The costumes, he have a lot of like pictures like at night, like what like I guess people are like riding around with bikes and like fire and like he has like all these different images, and then he also caught a lot of pictures during the protest. I think you two should link up.
I
I
have to
really
go
think
look.
that I think you two should definitely like link up as far as like shooting the shit when it comes to photography. Like, cause I know that he has this book that he's created, and I know he's been
Yeah.
working on it for a while. So yeah, like I
Yeah.
definitely like his pictures from the Burning Man Festival. I mean, I wanted to
I
go
have to go
forever,
look.
but
I have to go
but
look.
to physically see, like to see the pictures, I want to physically go. And it's just a shame that all these different things have happened, that those type of things won't be happening for a while. So I guess like when
Yeah.
the world opens up, like you really got to take it every opportunity. Everything's going to be crowded once it really gets there. Really,
Yeah.
really crowded.
Live life
What
to the fullest.
definitely live life to the fullest. Yeah, so I think he started taking, I don't know when he picked up the camera, but I definitely have got to get my hands on his book.
Yeah. I gotta
So
check it out too.
I want to see it. So you said that you want to take pictures and tell a story. So among all your pictures that you've taken, what has been your favorite piece of work so far?
My favorite image, honestly, is probably so we had Halloween in one of my programs, and this was
Hmm.
years ago. And there were some of my students that were basically in their costumes and just playing and just being black and free and happy and joyful. And I captured these images of them. And also, again, because they know me so well and I'm a part of their community, it just came off so naturally. These images are just beautiful. They're my babies. So those are my favorites. Yeah, period. Pooh.
So what? So like, what else? Do you have your camera with you? Can we see your camera?
Yeah, I do. This is a Nikon Z6. It's a mirrorless camera, full frame, mirrorless. Thank you, Mercedes. Yari.
So yes, that's my homegirl. She says she loves it. So how do you educate yourself to make sure that you are being fully educated on your photography? Like, are you taking extra classes or just self-taught?
So, well, somebody asked me, and I was like, I'm self-taught. But then I was like, in the same breath, I took a course, and they were like, okay, so you're not self-taught. So I was like, well, I ain't go to school for it, but but anyway. So, there's an app called The Great Courses that has all of these courses. If you want to take a class from like an Ivy League professor or someone who's at the top of their career in a certain space, you can go on there and pay a little subscription and access the courses. So there is a photographer with the National Geographic. His name is Joel Sartori. I recommend his class to every single person that asks me how to learn photography.
Hmm.
I think it's maybe like 25 modules in the course, but everything from different types of lighting, everything from framing, everything from perspective, like things that you don't think about when you initially pick up a camera. You're just
Hmm.
like, oh, I'm just going to take pictures. And you're like, dang, why don't take good pictures? Because there's some general concepts that you're going to need to know, like the rule of thirds, like, so he walks you through all of that. That was my foundation. Then, of course, I went to YouTube University, period. Like, I went to YouTube University. There's a photographer named Peter McKinnon. I think he's
Hmm.
Canadian, that I watch like a lot of. And then sometimes I go on there and watch different Photoshop tutorials for like skin retouching, which is something I'm really trying to learn more of. I work mostly in Lightroom for all my editing and adjustments. And then I'm learning skin retouching, frequency, and all that in Photoshop. now. So that's, yeah. So I'm always like, if I see something that I like, essentially, if I see an image that I like, and I'm like, whoa, how did they do that? I go and try and find out how they did it, basically.
So what makes a good picture stand out from the average photo?
Yes, good question. I think a good picture stands out when it's actually telling a story. Like something's happened. It's not just a person posing, or it's not just people sitting, sipping a coffee. Maybe it's something more interesting. And I'll give an example. So when I was attending the Women's March, the last one before coronavirus, um, there was a trans woman. Her name is the Brita Filter. She's a very popular trans woman. She's on Instagram, influencer, and I think she's on a show. But
Okay.
she was there. She was dressed in this beautiful red gown. She had a beautiful blonde wig. Face was beat, and she was basically doing her thing at the Women's March. And there was also this group of anti-abortion protesters that were along the sidelines. And when they spotted her, they started saying some really hurtful things to her. And what she did was she waltzed over there and basically marched back and forth with her LGBTQ pride flag and waved that thing. And she was like framing herself right in front of these anti-abortion people.
Mm,
So the shot was these anti folks and her basically giving them a big fuck you with her
right.
flag. You know what I'm saying? Basically, boldly, beautifully saying, actually, I'm here, I'm beautiful, and those words don't hurt me. So that was the shot, like her being strong and fierce in that moment in the face of the hateration. So,
Mm.
yeah.
So where do you see yourself going with your photography? Because is this gonna? Because I feel like it's gonna be a full-time thing. I really,
Girl, will
I'm
it for
feeling
me? Will
like
it for me? Put it in
I'm
the
feeling
universe
like it's
for me.
gonna be. I think you're gonna always work with your community, but and probably the youth as a whole, but maybe it's all circling into one thing. Like life comes full
Listen,
circle. Life
if
is
I
coming full circle.
that would be the goals. That's the goal. That would be a dream come true. I think you hit it on hit the nail on the head too. I really definitely want to do photography full time, but it is like taxing, like on the body. You know what I'm saying? Like
In
I'm a
what way?
small I'm a small person, and it's the weight of this camera, like my
Oh,
fingers sometimes, you know what I mean? Like if you're working an eight
okay.
hour day, you know what I mean? It can be like you can get home and be like, oh my God, and I gotta edit. Like that's real. So and I, like you said, I think with photography, I definitely want to do more creative conceptual projects. Definitely would love to do it full time, but like you said, I always will remain engaged in the community. I've formed relationships with people that I'm never letting go of, kids, families that I'm never letting go of. So, kind of, yeah, if I could merge the two together, that would be the ideal world.
Why don't you teach children photography?
Well, I tried it for the first time
And what
last
was that
year.
like?
It was fun. They love it. They love taking pictures. It's something that it's so intuitive for some people. You just got to teach them the skills and the terminology, and you know, yeah, it was great.
You could teach photography. You could have a photography class. You never know. Like I'm telling you, I'm trying to put
You
it out in the
planting all
air. Is the
type of
moon?
seeds. I appreciate it. You planting all type of
I'm
seeds.
like, is the moon still full out there? Listen, I'm all about manifesting what you want. And I know that you and I had talked about your experience at Hot 97. When you came to my house. Well, I don't live in that apartment anymore. I actually live underneath it, underneath that apartment.
Yo,
But we
I
talked
completely
about,
forgot about that.
girl, I was
That's
working my side hustle back then. I was doing my side hustle back then. I was doing my side hustle back then. We had talked about everything. He was like, yeah, I think I'm going to just go ahead and go back and then do this. Like, I don't know. I'm leaving New York. I don't know what to do. I'm leaving. So I think you're a beautiful person. I know you have a great
oh,
eye. I've
thank
looked at
you.
your work. I saw you taking product pictures as well. I mean, I know there's a
Yes.
space for Black woman photographers. There's not enough of
Yes.
you, honestly.
Yes.
It's like you and no one, because I don't know any other Black woman photographers out here.
Yes.
And I think we need to shed some more light on women with a great photographer eye. So that's why I wanted you to
Well,
come
thank
on.
you.
That's why I
I
wanted you to
appreciate
come on,
that so
because
much.
you're the only woman I know that's taking like really good photos and like progressing, constantly progressing. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I can do clients, but I also want my photos to tell a story.
Yes.
So
Yes.
where do
Thank
you
you,
see
girl.
yourself in 5 years? 5 years, where do you see yourself at? Let's
You
come on. This
know,
is the time for the manifesting. Come on now, Jasmine, work with
when
me.
okay. True. Okay, so 5 years. So I definitely, when I was preparing for this, I immediately thought personal. So I'm gonna manifest the two things. The one thing I want more than anything. I see myself with a little toddler running around. That's listen.
How do you be like, okay, I mean, we can manifest that. I mean, we can put it all. Let me just put it in. Like, we can put that in there, but you can take one of these kids I have here in this house for practice. You can take my son. You can take him first.
um, he's adorable. Your kids are so beautiful,
Them
girl.
kids is bad. Kids is bad. So
um,
we gonna have the toddler. Are we gonna
I'm
have the
gonna have my
husband?
toddler. And a man, if he's, got his stuff together, but I'm happy with a
Okay, so
child.
we got the husband, we got the kid. Do we have the house with the photography studio in it?
We have the house with the studio in it. Yes, we do. We have that. We have Afrotographers really doing a thing. So I don't know if I told you about Afrotographers, but
No, what is that?
it's a community I founded in 2018. It's photography enthusiasts of the diaspora and beyond. Um,
Okay.
and it is basically a collective of folks who are interested in photography, want to improve their skills, want to meet other people who are also into photography. Um, we've hosted events with Larry Cook Williams. He was featured in the National Portrait Gallery in the Outwin Buchever competition. We have hosted a photo competition for the March on Washington last summer in partnership with an organization and event space called The Outrage, where we featured all of our winning competitors. We're in talks with other folks to do other competitions and such. So that's our community. You can check us out at Afrotographers. So it's AFROTOGRAPHERS. So it's like Afrotographers.
Let me see. I'm doing it right now.
I can actually. Oh, you putting it in?
Yeah, I'm typing it in right now. I
Okay.
wonder, is that the Instagram?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So it's Afro TOGRAPHER. Girl, my Grammarly not on. Hold on a second.
Oh, let me do it. Let me do it. Let me do it.
Let me see. Let me see. Let me see if I spelled it right. Hold on. Look at it and see that. Did I spell that right?
Yes, but it's an S on the end.
See what I'm saying? Hold on. Now I got to do it again. Hold on.
I just put it.
Okay, yeah. So let me pin yours. Hold on. Somebody has a question. Let me see. It better be a good one too. No,
Thank you, Steph. I appreciate you.
nobody. I'm not. I don't know. That's these bots. These bots that be on Instagram. That's nobody. I don't even know who that is. So we got the 5 years. So we still manifesting. Come on, Jasmine. This is the time when we have to put it in the air. So
Yes. Girl, you put me on the spot. So, what else am I manifesting?
your life, what your work will say in 5 years. You got 5 years to get it
My work
together.
in 5 years, my work will say Black women are beautifully complex. That we hold and build very special relationships with one another that only we can understand. Um, you know what I'm saying? Like just pulling out all that Black girl magic, and just kind of just I don't know, being really channeling like the things that matter to me the most. So yeah. Now if I got some time to put it on some paper, then it's gonna be a little bit better than that.
So 5 years. That's where we're gonna be at in 5 years. Do you think you're still? Well, we already said you're still gonna be working with the youth in some capacity,
Yes,
some level of
yeah,
capacity.
yeah. I
Okay,
love
okay,
the
okay.
I love them down.
I
So
think that's phenomenal. You know, we need more people that look like us that works in our community with our children so that our children would be able to relate. I mean, I don't know. I went to public school in New York City, and I mean, all the teachers was black, but they were all angry. I keep saying that. Like, my elementary school was weird. Those teachers were weird. One of my teachers goes to my church. It's weird. My fourth grade teacher goes to my church. She's so angry still. To this day, she's still mad. I don't think they had the resources that they needed back then, honestly, to be teaching us. I don't know what the requirements was back then. But again, I wish that we had more programs and things like that when I was growing up. You know what I mean? It's so easy for
yeah,
children to kind of like fall through the cracks. You know, we
yeah,
have to give our children a chance to even know that they can win. You know what I mean? I don't think that
absolutely.
I ever knew. I mean, I never imagined a black president. I've never imagined a black
Black vice
female vice
president.
president. You know, I've never really saw any of these things. You know, in my U.S. history class, all the presidents were white and old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They didn't listen to rap music. You know what I mean? I mean Bill
And
Clinton,
thank
but
goodness that's changing. Thank goodness. Imagine what's like going through the minds of young children right now. I mean, even with the backdrop of all the injustices being brought to the forefront, brought to the light, you have children who have it in their psyche that a black man can be not only a president, um, a great leader, a great husband, that loves like a beautiful, intelligent black woman, a great father. You know what I mean? Like that just does
right.
something to the psyche when you see that for yourself as a small child. And
I think that that doesn't register that. I mean, of course, I'm raising a young child here in this house. I'm raising a young girl, a little girl, a young black little girl. Um, you know, one of the conversations that I had with Levi, because she doesn't really know of anything other than this. This is her world right here. So she doesn't know anything about my world. Everything is, how old are you? Like, what is a, I think I said something about a VCR. She said, a VC what? What is a VCR? I died laughing so bad because I said a DVD player, VCR. She said, what are those things? Like, what are you talking about? And it's just so funny because they're so innocent, but her generation they speak up and they speak out up and they speak out all the damn time. That generation, this Gen Z over here, is trying to take me out. But they speak up and they speak out. When they don't feel like they're being treated fair,
yeah,
they're speaking up and speaking out. And what
yeah.
age group are you working with?
Right now, I'm with middle school students and high school students. We have we do OST programming, and I don't know if you know what OST means. It's essentially
No.
it's out of school time, so it's after school and summer camp. But then
Okay.
we also do college and career readiness programming, where we plug high schoolers into internships, college tours, mentorship. Yeah.
Girl, that's what I used to go to. It was called Upper Bound Program when I was here in New York. It was called the Upper Bound Program. I used to go every day after school.
I
I had to
remember
come.
Upward Bound.
Yeah, it was the Upper Bound Program. That's how I went. Girl, that's how I met some of them people I went to school with, messing around that damn Upper Brown program, and we all ended up in the same college. God rest his soul. That's how I met Danny. I met Danny at my Upper Brown program, and
Oh
then we went to Morgan
wow.
together. Yep,
Wow.
we ended up at Morgan together, and you couldn't have told me that the universe didn't have a hand in that. Out of
Yes.
all the black colleges in the world, I just knew that he was going to Hampton and he ended up at Morgan. And I was like, Morgan was supposed to be my safe haven for me to start my life over. I wasn't supposed to be bringing people from New York to Morgan with me. This is madness. Yeah. I think we all need like I think our children need more positive, understanding, responsible, mature black people in their life outside of their core family.
For
Yeah.
sure. Absolutely. I believe
So
in it.
before I let you go, because
Yeah.
I do it to everybody that's here. You have to leave us with something, leave the audience with something. But before you do that, where can people find you? And like, I mean, I'm gonna just put this out there because I'm trying to develop an all female team, right?
Okay.
I need all black females. I need all black females. Like not like just being able to have a solid network of black women that do other different professions. And so
Yeah.
I would like you to be a part of it. You know what I mean? Because
Oh,
you're in
absolutely.
photography. If I know of anybody that needs anything done in the DMV area, I want to be able to refer you and say, no, I know someone that can be able to do that for you.
Yes.
So where can everybody find you at? I mean, we pin Afrotographers, and then
Yes.
also we have you. So what else? Do you have a website? How can people get in
Yes.
contact with you?
My website is jasmineevadney.com. And
Type it in so I could pin it again, because you know I said my Grammarly is not on. The Grammarly is off.
my girl, my allergies acting up.
Girl, I just was telling everybody my eyes were shut this morning. I had to put eye drops in my eyes, do a neti pot before I go to sleep.
Oh,
It's the worst thing. Yeah, I have to do it before I go to sleep, or else I'm not going to be able to open my eyes. Hold on, all these.
Ooh, okay. So I'm gonna count my.
I'm not gonna.
Then.
Yeah, I have to put the. I'm not gonna. My eyes are gonna be stuck. I'm not gonna be able to open my eyes at all. They're gonna be stuck, like literally. They're like shut like this. I gotta wake up and like crawl through the dark. So this is where everybody. It's running now? Okay, yeah, let me get you up here.
I'm like,
so this is where people can check you out here. So what is on your website? What other information is on the website so that people can get in contact? Do you do like weddings? Like, what are the services that you offer?
So I offer lifestyle, family portraits, event photography, and I specialize in nonprofit narratives. So I also have an account called The Mission Vision, which if you're familiar with nonprofits, you know, every organization has a mission and a vision.
Okay.
And this is just my play on words to make it relatable to photography. So if folks want to follow that work, you can see it there. But on my main page, you'll see some of my product photography. I also do product photography. Yes, I'm a jack of all trades. That's what I'm sounding like right now.
Come on, Jane, all trades. Come on, Jane. Come on, Jane.
So you can see all of that there. And I don't do videography, so I want to put that out there, but I do photography. And I have never done a wedding before. I'm doing my first wedding in June.
Okay.
So we will see. I hear weddings can be tedious. So
Girl, I hope you are prepared. I really hope you are prepared for that. Weddings, you got to get the best lighting. I don't want to talk about weddings. Weddings are stressful, but
I know.
Before you go, just leave us with something to take away.
I wrote something down, so I just
give it to us, Jazz. Come on, Jazz, give it to us.
I just said, challenge yourself to capture life more beautifully. Focus on the big, but also remember the small things count the most. And that's my word. That's my word.
Come on, Jasmine. Come on. Well, I want to thank you for coming on here. I know, like, I put everybody on the spot. Like, I slide in people's DMs like, hey, what you doing on Thursday at 8 o'clock? You want to come on? I know everybody's like, oh, God, here she comes. Every time somebody see a DM from me, they're like, what's she asking me for? I put everybody on the spotlight, but I just wanted to be able to highlight you, give you your flowers while you're here. Let you know that I notice what you're doing.
So much.
I watch your grind. I see you coming up. I notice what you're doing. I'm keeping my eye out on everybody that I know because I want everybody to win. So I want to thank you for coming on. Thank you for giving us your time. Everybody, make sure you go follow her. Go to her website. See her work. Let's continue to champion. I'm telling you, we got to get the 5 years. I put it out there. You put it out there. It's coming.
It's manifested. So. And I also
thank you so much,
Simone. Thank you for highlighting people and recognizing people's work. This is a beautiful series that you're doing, and I just want to big you up too.
Thank you.
Let me know what the manifestations is because I'm gonna just make sure I put those in the air for you too. Okay,
girl. The goal is to get off of Instagram and to make this a moving show. So if anybody is listening, because everyone says, "Oh, podcast." No, this is a show. I'm in a chair. This is a show that I'm doing. This is a series. Like, I'm about to go on hiatus from June to September to figure out where can this be at?
Yeah.
Where can this go? Like, I want this to be bigger than that. I want to be able to reach the people that I know and get people that other people maybe idolize and bring them on here and have like real conversations. I watch Ratchet TV like everybody else do, but I'm not a fan of putting people in uncomfortable situations. I want to be able to have positive conversations centered around Black people and what it is that you do And we can't continue to keep saying that we're going to support Black or buy Black if we don't know where to buy from. So you are a photographer, so you're considered a small business. So we know like these other big Black businesses that everybody is supporting, but we also have to support the small to medium-sized Black-owned businesses as well. So, you know, you're a one-woman show. You over here making, you know, doing what you have to do. You got your feet in the community and you got, you know, your eye behind the lens, and that's a lot right there. And you're doing a lot. So I want to be able to showcase that. And there's a lot of people that live in the DMV area that might not know that you're right there and that you can go ahead and you could be working. You could be doing more.
Yeah. That's
So
true.
I just want to be able to do, I just want to be able to do that. And if we don't shine the light, you know, we won't be able to see. So that's my jewel for the night, because I never leave one, but that was my gem for the night.
Yes.
So thanks again, Jazz. Everybody go follow Jazz. Please don't be creepy and be respectful. Just follow her and make sure we get her working out here. You know, restrictions are lifting. You know, just keep your mask on, Jazz. We can't have you getting sick out here, okay?
I'm vaccinated. Mask
I'd
on
be like, well, thank you for coming. Good night, everybody. Thanks everybody for tuning in. See you guys next Thursday.
Bye.